Oh no. Hello.
What's up, nerds? Welcome back. Oh shit.
Hey.
Well, my audio just accidentally cut out because I just closed the track. Really brief instead of a nice slow fade. Oh well, we're back. Culinary Show
My
episode
music didn't
13.
even work.
As always, I'm Steve Trezza, joined by the one, the only Scott Burnett, Thick Flair himself. So it's been a
That's me.
while. I don't even remember the last time we streamed. It's probably been 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I took a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, well, we both had
Shitty games and
vacations.
stuff.
Because you were away, and then I was away,
Yeah.
and then
Speaking of,
Mhm.
um, it has to do with our one of our topics, but I don't know when I'm gonna see you, but do you want to see the souvenir I got you?
Yes, I do. I forgot you got me something, and thank you. Were you
Yeah, it's
drunk
right here.
again? Oh man.
No. It's nothing big, but it does have to do with one of the things we're talking about. Check this shirt out.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Wait, where is it? I gotta get it back further. And the fucking Doctor Strange shit that he's putting out glows in the dark.
That's amazing, and it's all like comic-y.
Comic book
It's not,
cover.
yeah,
Yep.
because I hate the like the real person,
Oh yeah,
like the
yeah.
actor shirts. Those are just tacky. Like
Yeah,
that.
the
That's
celebrity
amazing.
towers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
You're welcome. I was like, I saw a lot of people wearing that, and I was like, I have a feeling I know where they sell that, and that's a Steve Trezor shirt if I've ever seen one.
I looked for a Harry Potter themed Puerto Rican tchotchke for you, but I
I would
couldn't.
love if that would.
I
That
couldn't
actually
find
exists.
one. So yeah, Scott was away on
Also, check out
vacation.
this.
I was on vacation.
Remember these? Remember these fucking freezer mugs?
Oh hell yeah!
They
I
have
completely
Duff
forgot
ones.
about those.
I fucking should have got you one. They were like super cheap. They were
For
probably
audio listeners,
offloading
it's
them.
a Duff beer freezer mug.
Yeah, they were like it was like $10. It's like the
Oh hell
cheapest
yeah!
theme
I
park
would
thing
totally
I
do
ever
that.
bought. They were like, well, we have a bunch of these in a warehouse somewhere that we just found. I angry tweeted at Universal. I was like, bring these back. And they responded to me. They were like, we'll tell the right people. I was like, no, you're not. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, they always give you that canned response. I know because I'm one of those people in my real life job.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was like, you're not gonna tell anybody, are you?
um, yeah. So we've been gone for a while, but we meant to do a bunch of spoiler casts, but the way that the timing just worked out, we weren't really able to do it because Scott was away, I was away, and then for my real job had to go through a rebrand, so I was like super busy with work. I think you were pretty busy with work too.
I was sick as shit like the week before I left too.
Oh wow, good thing you got
Like
it
not COVID,
before.
not COVID related, but I had such a like bad fever. I was like up all night one of the nights, like shivering.
Oh, it's
And
the worst.
not like oh I'm a little cold, like fucking cartoon. My teeth were chattering so loud it kept Katie up. And I sat up in the bed and physically talked to myself out loud. I was like, stop shivering. Like I had to just like fucking mentally get there
Were
and
your teeth
stop.
teeth like chattering together?
Yeah, like
That's the
like a
worst.
wind up Joker thing. Like it was not. I was like, this isn't a real thing. People's teeth don't chatter like this, but mine did, and it was that's why we didn't stream the week before. Then the next week I was away. Then the next week you were away, and then when you got back, you were fucking back from Puerto Rico. So obviously,
Yeah, I
drained.
was very drained. And then I got back on a Monday night. I got home at like 9 p.m. and then I got a decent amount of sleep. The time that I was away, I got maybe like between 4 and 5 hours every night because we were like drinking and getting up early and shit. I was away for a bachelor party. Um and then I got back that Monday night. I had like a decent amount of sleep, and I had to work on Tuesday, which wasn't that bad because it's working from home. But then Wednesday, my company went through a fucking rebrand. So I had to stay up until midnight so I could change all of the social media accounts over
Ugh.
to the new ones. And I finally got done at probably like close to 1 a.m. And then since Wednesday was the rebrand day, they wanted everyone in the office to celebrate. So I went to sleep at like 1 a.m., woke up at 6 a.m. to go into the fucking city. And
Ugh.
it was just bad. I was so exhausted coming off of a fucking Puerto Rican bachelor party to do that. And then that whole week of work, I was just kind of like trudging through until the weekend hit. It was like, thank God.
Working.
Yeah.
We're just working, doing the bare minimum.
So today, first things first, if you haven't already, join the Cool Nerd Nation Discord where you can chat with me and Scott. We're kind of in a low right now of games. We'll get more into that and when we talk about what we're playing.
That's going to be a lot longer than we expected.
And that's a news topic that we'll also hit too. But anyway, you can head over to the Cool Nerd Nation Discord, chat us up, check us out over there. The link should be in the description. You can also check us out on streaming services, Twitch or YouTube, twitch.tv/Tresnator, twitch.tv/ThickFlare, 4Cs. You can also, if you're watching this, you can just look below us, and that's where you can find us. And we're also on podcast apps everywhere. So with that housekeeping out of the way, Scott, what are you playing currently? I haven't talked to you in like a month, so I don't even know what you're playing.
Yeah, I think the last time we streamed or played something, everybody was like, "You got to get Red Dead," and I was like, "Oh, wait for it to go on sale."
Are you playing it?
And then it went on sale. Yeah, I've been playing it as much as I could, but I got to the same.
How do you feel?
Part. I'm like getting through the stuff I already went through.
Okay.
So it's like I've done this,
yeah,
and it's very slow.
It's
and
extremely
having
slow.
it being slow, and then stuff I've done, I'm just like, I just gotta get through it. I just gotta get through it. But it's like, Arthur, you want to help me get a pail from down the way? And it's like, all right, we're gonna spend the next 20 minutes talking about life on this horse. And then it's like, okay, cool, I got the pail. It's gonna take me back to the camp. It's like, you want to walk 20 minutes back, and we can talk more about life. And it's like, yeah, sure, I do. I won't do that. And then you fucking walk back to the camp, and then you can't run in the camp, so it's even slower. I was just like, holy fuck, let me shoot something, please.
Just hang on, you'll get there. It's how many hours are you in? Probably like close to like 8 or something like that.
I think it's like 9, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I just bought my horse.
Okay.
And it's just like, keep the ladies from getting their ass beat from local ruffians.
Yeah, you're still real early in the game.
Yeah.
It does get better, and it does pick up.
I know. I desperately want to get through this bit.
You're not the only person that I can't remember who else, but there's a few people that I've talked to that were like, we just couldn't get past, like the first 5 hours or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
It is slow. I actually, on my trip, so I bring the only time I play my Switch is when I either go away or when I commute into the city.
I literally had to clean my Switch screen off for the flight down to Florida. I was like, this shit is disgusting. I haven't touched this in forever.
I picked up Hades again, which I was playing a little bit, but I never beat. And I just got back into it. And holy shit, that game is so good. And I got to... Have you played Hades?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. I played it for a bit.
So
Roguelikes aren't my favorite though. So
yeah, it's not a game that I would normally play, but it's like once I got into it and like it hooked me, and I got to the top, like the last level right before the final boss, and I could have just surpassed and like went in to face the final boss, but I went into the extra chambers to try and get the extra enchantments because I got greedy. And I died, and I went all the way back to the beginning, and I haven't been able to get back there since. But now that I've had like a taste of victory, it's kind of pulling me back in. So I'm gonna try and beat Hades for the first time within like the next couple weeks.
yeah, I do have a backlog, but it's unfortunate that all of the games I look forward to are getting delayed.
Yes, which is
That's
a good
segue.
segue to our first news
Mm.
story, which is from our video game draft. We have some delayed games to ruin Scott's draft. Two of Scott's big heavy hitters, Starfield and Redfall, were delayed.
Same tweet. Not even separate tweets. It was the same fucking tweet. It was.
Um,
I remember looking at my phone. It was like Bethesda Softworks. I was like, sweet. What Starfield news are we getting? And it was like Starfield and Redfall are not coming out this year.
let me see. Currently, let's see if I can do quick math to see what this current score is. Scott, you have an 84 currently because you've
Yeah.
only had one game release, which is Lego Star Wars. Um, I've had half of my draft picks release. So let's see. We've got.
Quick math.
I can't do quick math. We've got Elden Ring, which was a 95. We've got Tiny Tina's, which was an 80. We've got Tunic, which was an 85. Final Fantasy Origins, which is a 69.
Hey.
Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remaster, which was an 88. And Ghostwire Tokyo, which is a 78. I currently sit at 495.
Just a hair. Ahead of me.
495 to 84. The games that I have yet to release, Baldur's Gate 3, which I think is delayed till 2023, so that's a big zero for me. The day before, did that get delayed too?
That got delayed. That got delayed when we went to go see Multiverse of Madness.
Till next year?
Like same day.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so there's
Yeah.
2 zeros for me.
Yeah.
Marvel's Midnight Suns, which looks like it's going to come out in the fall. Saints Row remake, Stray, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which I think is coming out in the summer. No date though. Scott,
I have Harry Potter.
I have the
I
list
have
here.
Hollow Knight.
Uh,
Yeah.
You have Starfield, 0. Hollow Knight Silk Song, Somerville, Hogwarts Legacy, which is what is that, holiday? So
Holiday.
potentially it could get delayed, but it could still come out. Outlast Trials, Forspoken, Redfall, that's a 0. Gotham Knights,
Yeah.
Avatar.
That got delayed too.
That's a 0. I knew there was another one. Avatar,
Yeah.
so that's another 0. WB Multiverses, and they haven't delayed it yet, but Stalker 2 was initially set to come out December 8th, but it's a Ukrainian studio, and I just can't see that happening. So,
yeah.
Scott, you went with the risks in the draft, and
Yeah, I mean, but hey, if the handful of games I still got do come out, I got a chance. Gotham Knights is probably gonna be like an 80.
I got 73.
Yeah.
Multiverses, I think probably around the same spot.
No, hey, Multiverses is getting great reviews.
Is it?
Great Smash like. Yeah, like really creative Smash like. Like Tom and Jerry are duo fighters, like ice climbers.
Okay.
But I don't fucking know which one's the cat.
That's Tom. Tomcat.
Upright. He's always trying to fight Jerry, not the other guy. So Jerry's like running past the opponent, and Tom is trying to get Jerry, but hitting the opponent.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's like super clever.
That is clever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I signed up for the beta, but I didn't get a code. But hopefully, I can get a code. And then if I get a code, I could give codes to people. So we could do a little multiverses stream. But hopefully, I get the beta code.
You're not out yet. Like I have 2 games that are
Forspoken's in October.
that are delayed. Forspoken's in October. It's definitely going to come out, and that's a game that
That's
could
one of
be
those
either really good or
PlayStation-
really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a feast or famine kind of game.
Somerville can get a really good score, and so can Hogwarts Legacy if it does come out. So like you're not completely out yet. Although I do think I have, I'm in the lead here, and I have the.
No shit, you're in the lead. If my math is correct, I think 400.
I do think I'm the favorite. That's what I meant to say. I think I'm the
greater
favorite
than
here.
84. Yeah, I think I took too many risks. But I'm willing to settle on the punishment if we want to finally put that in stone.
No, I want to. Let's wait till the end of the. I want to see what the final score is here.
No. I meant like decide what the punishment should be.
Oh yeah, well, all right. What do you think the punishment should be?
I was thinking like hot chip.
A hot chip?
You know, stick with the streamer. You know, it's a hot chip eating on a stream. Kind of everybody fucking does it.
Draven G. Gotham Knights looks okay. It looks mid. Yeah, it looks kind of. He said it looks kind of mid. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Completely agree. It looks kind of mid. I'm
you
saying
can't
it's
eat
like
the
a
hot
73.
chip though, right?
I mean, I have a stomach issue that, but like I still eat spicy stuff even though I shouldn't. So
that's extra spicy. I wouldn't want to put you through that. We could think of something.
We'll think of something. Maybe I'll do hot chip. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, so that's it for our video game draft update. The next game to release, I don't think we have an actual release date. Well, actually the next game with a release date is Saints Row, which is August 23rd. That might even have gotten pushed back. So,
and then it's like Gotham Knights,
and then like
Hollow Knight is just Hollow Knight was supposed to be out already.
Everything else was supposed to be out. It's just hanging around. Release date.
We picked a bad year to do this. I think next year is going to be ultra competitive.
Yeah, we should totally do this game draft next year, and we should get like
first stream of the new year.
We should get like a few other people in on it too.
There's going to be a lot of games.
Like maybe like if we can get maybe I don't know 4 or 5 people to do the draft with us.
I'm sure Steve will be in.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah. Steve will definitely be in, and I don't know. Why can't I think of his name? Sir Crimson. I'm sure he would be down for it or something. Yeah. We find some other streamers or something like that. So yeah, but it's cool. I'm having fun with this. I'm excited to see what the final score is and what happens next year.
Because you're fucking winning. That's why.
A new Thor: Love and Thunder trailer came out. This is really it. All we have for news. I haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna watch it. And then we're going to get into our 3 spoiler casts for today, which is going to be The Batman, Moon Knight, the whole series, and Doctor Strange. And we'll be talking about what we liked about them, what we didn't like about them. Yeah, if they're good, if we're not. I put a rank in each one of them. So wait till we get there. So like,
I'm not going to rank it, but I'm just going to give a little preview. 1 really good, 1 okay, 1 bad. And then you gotta stick around to find out.
You know what? I think I agree with you on all of those.
Yeah, I think so. There's not gonna be any arguing. Just a, on the same page, comic book talking. You know what I mean?
So for the rankings, we're not gonna rank the 3. I put a ranking within each review. So one's gonna be like rank the character performances in this review, like from best to worst. Like it's gonna get fun. Don't worry. Okay. And then we also have Easter eggs. For each of them, I pulled out some Easter eggs that I like that we'll talk about.
Yeah, you put a lot of work in.
And then also what we want to see next from whatever project. But before we get into that, let's check out the new Thor: Love and Thunder trailer. I'm gonna go to the reaction screen.
All right, so let's watch this again.
Bam. I haven't seen it yet, so
let's just say this might be my punishment for losing the draft.
We know how much Scott loves
kids.
Thor.
Popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. When he got in shape, he went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that, he reclaimed his title as the one and only Thor. Oh, spoke too soon. Jane?
Ooh, that helmet.
The old ex-girlfriend.
She looks great. I'm just gotta say.
8 years.
Oh, but yeah, she got it in a great shape for it.
Am I sensing feelings?
Well, you're right.
Green screen work is not great.
The only ones who gods care about is themselves.
Hey, it's Atheist Bale.
So this is my vow.
All gods will die.
Quan Chi.
I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
He's just my first bad guy.
Never forget your first. For you, I'm not like the other gods of kill. Because I have something worth fighting for. Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick. Oh, flick too hard, damn it!
Should we help him? Yeah, eventually. Great.
Well, I'm excited.
Go back to Space Camp.
So I always thought that Jane Foster was like a different universe Jane Foster. Like that would make the most sense with all this multiverse thing going on, but it doesn't look like that's the case.
Yeah, because she knows who he is.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know what Marvel's aversion to physical helmets are, but these fucking retractable CGI helmets don't look great.
Yeah,
I don't.
something's going on with something's going on with Marvel where like they're just kind of like shitting out this CGI now. Where,
Yeah.
I don't know. It used to be so good, and now they just like don't care. And I guess this is a bit of news that we can talk about if we're talking about bad CGI. Last week we got a fucking She-Hulk trailer, and it looks horrible. Which doesn't make sense because Hulk looks fine, but like for
maybe they just
some
had
reason,
the model for Hulk already.
Her
they just put him in there.
Face it moves, like her actual like the face. I guess like that they
the tracking of her face.
The tracking of her face that they like took from when they were filming her like moves on the body where it's not supposed to, and it looks fucking weird, and it's not good CGI at all. And on top of that, the show doesn't look good. I'm probably still going to watch it because I've watched every Marvel thing and like I just feel like I have to. But I'm not excited for it. I'm not excited for Ms. Marvel either. Although I know Ms. Marvel is supposed to be for like 13-year-olds. But whatever. I digress.
Some of the best CGI in the MCU is Iron Man 1. The suit in that movie looked so good. And I don't think it's ever looked that good since.
Draven G said, I know in the comics, Jane Foster had cancer, and that's what led her to become Thor. I wonder if
she was battling. She was supposedly there's like some synopsis on a toy.
Oh, really?
Like Jane Foster battling breast cancer finds her way into becoming the Almighty Thor or the Mighty Thor.
Interesting.
I don't know. Based on Marvel's track record, I don't think they'll touch too much on it.
No, they'll just gloss over it probably.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
I mean, and especially in the Thor franchise, it's not taken very seriously. Like even Thor in Infinity War, where he's like back with his mom, it was like very poignant, and then it was like, and here's a joke. So it's like Thor has just been relegated to this like comic relief. Like everybody's funny, so I can't
the comic
see
relief movie, Scott.
Yeah, it's not like the character in a movie, it's the movie in the franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I can't see them being like, look, I'm being all quippy. And then it's like, I have breast cancer. And then they go back to being funny. Like, I can't see them doing it.
Zero Chris Pratt in that trailer, by the way. Zero Guardians in that trailer.
Which automatically makes it better than the first trailer by default.
I mean, I like the Guardian movies,
but I'm really, it's very considerate of Marvel to take the two properties I fucking hate, like that it just encapsulate all the things that I don't like about the MCU, and just put them in one movie, and then I don't have to see that. I can just
You're not going to watch it ever, even when it comes to stream. You're not going to one day, like, sitting on the couch be like, I'll check it out. I know you will.
Like Thor Ragnarok and Guardians 2 were the only movies I've genuinely thought about walking out of.
Wow.
But I saw them both in Florida, and it was raining both times, and I was like, hurricane, these movies. And it was close.
I think the only movie I legit actually almost got up and walked out of was X-Men: The Last Stand when Xavier died. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was so mad. I was like, this movie sucks. This movie's terrible.
Well, we might have to circle back to that later.
We'll circle back to that later. Okay. So I guess we're going to do these in order of release. So the first movie that we have up is The Batman. Now, before we get into The Batman spoiler cast,
Been out long enough. Yeah,
I do want to say that we are going to be talking about spoilers. I'm also debating on whether I should break these up into 3 separate videos after this is done. I might do that, but I'm not
probably.
sure.
Yeah.
So spoiler warning, we're going to talk about The Batman. In the spoiler cast, we're going to give you guys what we thought about it. So let's get started with this quick 1-sentence synopsis, if I can speak tonight. When a sadistic serial killer begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. And that's pretty much...
That could literally be a synopsis for any of the Nolan ones, too.
True. It was directed by Matt Reeves, who directed Cloverfield, Let Me In, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. It was also written by Reeves and Peter Craig. I don't know what he did. I didn't look into that. Starring Robert Pattinson as Batman, Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle Catwoman, and Paul Dano as the Riddler, to name a few. Currently, it sits at an 85% Rotten Tomatoes score and a 72 Metacritic score. Which
I feel like the Metacritic is a little more on the nose.
I agree. So Scott,
like that's where it should sit.
What did you think about the Batman? I want to hear, since you're our resident DC fanboy, give us your thoughts on the Batman.
It had cool-ish moments. It never like. It felt like it never got anywhere. It felt like it was always going somewhere, and then the payoff was out of left field, and then the movie was over. But like, it was fucking long.
It was long,
and it felt like a retread because like, all right, we see Falcone again, we see a young Batman again, we see like this practical, grounded, down to earth Batman using like the Batmobile, but not really, his gadgets, but not really. His like, it's just the choreography was eerily similar to Nolan. The mood was eerily similar to Nolan's stuff. It just felt like they took pieces of every Batman and then glued them into one. Like the ambiance was Nolan. He quipped a lot, like the Schumacher Batman.
Yeah,
like if you caught it, and like I don't know. It just, the Riddler never riddled? Like he did, but...
He sent in those cards that had the riddle, and Batman would solve it like immediately, except for the one that he couldn't get because it was in Spanish, which made like no fucking sense.
And like, then he got it.
He's the world's greatest detective. He can't fucking read Spanish?
He read Spanish. I mean, fine. But he decoded it into a rat with wings, and he's like... Must be the Penguin. I, Batman, think it's Penguin. The rat with wings, me, Batman, thinks it's Penguin and not a bat. Like when they were like, "Oh, rat with wings," I was like, "Cool, he's gonna say it's him," and he was like, "Penguin." It's like, no, you fucking moron! A rat with wings is a bat. And then El Rada Alada. It's URL, and then he just put Rada Alada into a fucking web browser, and it opened up a group chat with Riddler, and he was like, "I'm gonna kill Alfred," and it timed up with when Alfred got blown up. So like, what if he didn't figure it out?
Alfred would have been dead,
blown up.
Yeah,
and he was just, but like Alfred, like he didn't warn Alfred.
He tried to.
He was too late.
He tried to call.
Yeah, but he was too late.
He was late, yeah.
She was like, it happened an hour ago. So, like, World's Greatest Detective, not so much.
See, so my overall impression is I liked some parts of it. I didn't think this was a terrible movie. I didn't really like it. I thought it was okay.
Terrible. No,
I thought it was all right.
understand.
I actually thought it was going to be more like Nolan, but it was it was more like Seven. It was like Batman 7. The movie 7, not like in, not like Batman 6
Chronological
and Batman
order.
7. Yeah. It was kind of like a thriller. I did like that we got to see the detective side of Batman, but I think where this movie fails is it's like it doesn't know what time period it wants to be in. Because it's like in today's world where we have all this technology and we're like whatever, and the Riddler's like TikToking his murders or whatever the fuck he's doing, he's like live streaming all of his shit. It's like
like TikTok trends, but killing people.
Choose to be in a universe that has cell phones, or choose to be in a universe that like doesn't have cell phones or whatever, or be in like a different time period where like this has nothing to do with the Batman. But I recently just watched Umbrella Academy again, season 1, and I just noticed no one has cell phones in that show. Like they just don't exist. And so you can do that, but I just feel like it doesn't work. And it doesn't, because I feel like they tried to ground it in reality, but it's hard to ground something in reality when you just ignore a lot of the technology that we use now. And that's why I think a lot of Marvel movies work, because it's like, it doesn't really matter Secret Identity for the most part. And like shit like that, it just does, like technology kind of plays a huge part in those movies. So that was one thing that I disliked. And everyone was just so dramatic. Like so dramatic. Like,
it's like the opposite of Thor: Love and Thunder.
And I get it. They were going for
opposite.
They were going for like a noir type. It was a noir movie, basically. That's what it was, which I don't dislike. But I also just think that Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne wasn't great. I think John Turturro as Carmine Falcone was the worst casting decision ever. Like he was not intimidating at all.
I'll see that and raise you Jeffrey Wright as Gordon.
He didn't bother me that much.
Every time he interacted with Batman, what do you think about this, Batman? And it's like, are you trying to outgruff Batman? What are you doing? Why are you talking like that?
Yeah,
talk like a normal person.
They got like in each other's ears and shit.
And like there was that scene
weird.
in the police station where he's like, who's the guy with the broken nose? And they were like weaving in and out of each other, and it's fucking like, it's just odd. And then like when he cut the dude's thumb off, and then the thing was in the car, and he was like, thumb drive. And it's just like, what am I watching? And like Penguin was there as just like a plot point.
He was one of the best characters in the movie, honestly.
Yeah, his performance was great, but they murdered a whole bunch of people in that chase.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear about Batman. Yeah. Batman doesn't kill. Batman fucking ran over people to get Penguin.
Of the chase, Draven G commented, I like the Batmobile was back to looking like a car instead of a tank. I don't mind the Batmobile tank because it kind of works better, I think. Whereas like the car is like the Batmobile tank can get out of tough situations and a car can't. But I didn't mind this Batmobile.
Okay, but listen, you notice how you didn't see him entering or exiting the car? Because the image of Batman, one like cheek in it, into a car, and sitting down, and not the
and slamming the door,
like the top of the pod opening and him jumping in and his cape flying behind him. That's cool. Like he's like, hold on, I gotta get the Batmobile.
My keys.
He just like steps in. It's just like it's not a visual that works for the Batmobile, and I think that's why you never see him get in or out of it. He's just either in it or out of it. Because they probably filmed it and they're like, this looks goofy as fuck. Because he's like gotta pull the cape in and shit, and his ears are hitting the door. And he's he's sitting. It's just like the ears are up against the ceiling.
I pitched my Batman movie to you, Scott, but not to the rest of everyone else. I had this idea of what I think would make an awesome Batman movie. If you did a Batman movie, but did it like in the past, like in like the 40s or the 30s or something, in like, the time of like bank robbers, like
it's Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah,
you could
do that.
That would be cool.
But the whole movie is from the view of like one of the gangsters. and it's a horror movie, and Batman just keeps showing up and like putting his friends in the hospital and shit. And Batman's like, you like barely see him the whole movie until like the end when maybe there's this big
Like Jaws, but Batman.
Exactly. And like, we don't get any backstory on Batman. We don't get who he is. We don't get like him in the Batcave. We only get the story of like the gangsters. And then like Batman shows up to foil their plot the whole time. And Batman's like after, maybe it could be Falcone or someone else. I just think that'd be a really interesting plot point or viewpoint of the movie. And I think it would make a decent movie.
I'll pitch you mine. All right, so it's probably like a couple years in the future. You get, I don't know, some big actor to play Batman. I don't know. Let's say Ben Affleck, and you put him up
Let's
against.
say Ben Affleck,
and you put him up against.
You're just gonna
know,
pitch
like
the Snyderverse.
Some good, some like an equal foe. Like let's say Deathstroke, and you just let Ben Affleck make his fucking Batman movie. Because, like, the idea, just Batman in a world where meta villains exist, is just infinitely cooler than, like, the mob. It's like, we've fucking seen it, man. We've seen it. And, like, yeah, sure, you could say, oh, Mr. Freeze was a meta. Kinda. And Poison Ivy was a meta. Kinda. And Bane was a meta. There was no repercussions of a world where he's not the fucking shit anymore.
You just reminded me of something that initially I wanted to mention back. So like, because it's been so long since, so long. It's been a few weeks, so the movie's not fresh in my mind. I remember at the end when they like spoiler alert, they capture Falcone or whatever. They're about to capture him, and he's like, everyone's in my pocket or whatever he says. I'm paraphrasing whatever, and it's like you find out like all the cops, and it's like. Yeah, we fucking know because we've seen it a million fucking times. Like, it's not surprising. It's supposed to be like this big twist at the end. It's like, oh, all of Gotham's in my pockets. Like, it always works out like this. Like, no shit.
It's not even that. We just saw it in the 2 hours we were watching the movie.
Yeah.
It's not like they hid it. It was like, look at all these cops at the Iceberg Lounge. It's like, okay, yeah. Logical connection that they're in on it.
Exactly.
Like, it's not even, we don't have to, like, think about other Batman movies. We could just, hey, we just watch this for 2.5 hours. And then they catch the Riddler, and he's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to blow up some dams.
And
like,
just floods the city. That's actually...
fucking nowhere.
That's actually an Easter egg. I didn't put that in my Easter eggs, but there is a story where the Riddler floods Gotham. And
yeah, that'd be fine if there was, like, any kind of, like... idea of that before he's just like, and another thing, I'm gonna flood Gotham.
Okay. Like, yeah, it was just kind of like a big like inconvenience.
And then that scene with him and the Joker felt really out of place.
Yeah, I didn't like that scene either. It felt shoehorned in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so our ranking for this review, I decided let's rank the best and worst performances. So let's rank these characters based on their performance from first to worst. And I have in order of how they, I guess, appear or whatever. Robert Pattinson as Batman, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano as the Riddler, Colin Farrell as Penguin, Jeffrey Wright as Gordon, John Turturro as Falcone, and Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Can I just do...
Scott, you can go first.
Colin Farrell is 1, Andy Serkis 2. Everybody else tied for last.
I'm gonna go.
I fucking hated Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Yeah, I didn't think she was great.
I didn't mind how her back works and how she walked. Like everywhere she went, her arms were just doing a fucking thing behind her, and it's just like, okay, we get it. You're sexy. You walk like a normal person now.
I didn't mind Pattinson as Batman. I just thought his Bruce Wayne wasn't very good.
I don't think he did anything to stand out as Batman either.
He didn't. Like, he was fine. He was just like whatever.
Yeah, I think he just read a Batman for Dummies book and went along with it.
So mine would be Colin Farrell as Penguin, and then probably Andy Serkis as Alfred, and then I guess Paul Dano as the Riddler, followed by Pattinson, followed by Kravitz. Followed by Jeffrey Wright as Gordon, and then in last place, John Turturro as Carmine.
Yeah,
Falcone.
if I didn't mean my answer, I think I probably would have been right there with you with that exact listing.
Falcone's he was just like, I like John Turturro. I just I'm sitting there, I'm like, he is not intimidating. He's like the size of my fucking pinky, and he's wearing sunglasses at midnight in the middle of his fucking club, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He's not intimidating.
He's like, "Hey, Bruce, I can't see. Are you here?
And
Did you
then
walk in?"
we had that like fucking plot twist that he was Selena Kyle's dad that like wasn't needed, and it was
I think the coolest character was Gotham itself.
the aesthetic of the movie was cool, and like the whole noirish part of it was cool, but then they ruined it with having fucking like cell phones and shit. It's like everyone's driving a car from the 70s, but then fucking the Riddler's live streaming his murder, and it's like, what does this movie want to be?
Also, that scene was straight ripped out of Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's like there's paying homage, and then there's completely ripping it off.
so we're gonna get into some Easter eggs. What's next, and then Moon Knight. So some Easter eggs that I've wrote. I hate looking for Easter eggs because you go to these sites and it's like Batman was created. It's like, well, he's not a fucking Easter egg. The movie's called Batman, and then it's like Catwoman, and it just like goes through every.
If you look at the
reference.
license plate, it says 1931, the first comic of Batman.
And
It's like,
Jesus
fucking who
fucking Christ.
cares, man? Like, this is an aside, but those kind of like, I know we're in the fucking space, right, doing this, and it's maybe a little hypocritical, but those type of like TikTok, YouTube videos where it's like, just announced that this, and it's just like they have the same cadence of voice, and it's like they'll have the thumbnail with the red circle over something, and they'll be like, "Is this, Mr. Freeze's fucking butt plug in the background?" And it's just like, it's like, fucking dude, just talk about it. Like, you don't have to, like, not everything is like, I need the maximum amount of clicks for this 4-minute video where I say nothing.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
know.
like, that shit. Every time I come across a TikTok like that, because it's just on my For You page, it's just because what I look at, and it's like, this just did, like, Activision just announced Call of Duty is doing this, and they all sound the fucking same, but it's just like, all right, enough with the clickbait bullshit.
So
Easter eggs are like the big one.
The Easter eggs that I pulled out were ones that I thought were interesting. So we have,
but you're not making a fucking article about it,
No.
about what it could potentially lead to.
We have Matt Reeves said that the 3 comics that inspired the movie were Batman Year One, The Long Halloween, and Ego, which I did read Year One. I didn't read The Long Halloween. I think it's mostly based on The Long Halloween.
Yeah, it does seem like it.
When someone asks Batman who he is, he responds, "I am vengeance." This was taken from the animated series where he shouts, "I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman." Sal Maroni, who is a significant crime boss of Gotham, is mentioned in the movie. He is the character who turns Harvey Dent into Two-Face by throwing acid on him. The Iceberg Lounge, which is a prominent scene in this movie, first appeared in Batman Comics 1995, as it has been used regularly ever since. Blackgate Prison is mentioned when Penguin tells Falcone to enjoy his time at Blackgate. This one I actually caught in the movie. I caught most of the other ones too, but this one stuck out to me. The reporter investigating the Wayne's past is named Edward Elliot, which is a possible connection to Tommy Elliot, also known as the villain Hush. If that connection seems a little tenuous, the words "Hush Money" flashed up on the screen as the Riddler's plot unraveled. I actually think Hush would be for this type of like movie franchise. I could see them using him for the next movie.
Didn't the animated one, Hush, wound up being the Riddler?
Yeah, but that's not who he is in the comics.
No, yeah, I know,
But
but
yes.
I think that might be a nod to the animated movie too.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Batman is injured during the final showdown with the Riddler. I also noticed this too. With Riddler copycats, and to save Catwoman's life, he injects himself with some kind of green substance that gets him all fired up. It's impossible to tell, but the liquid could be venom, the drug that gives Bane his super strength.
The official art book debunked that.
Oh, did it?
It was just it's called just an
well,
adrenaline
then why make
needle.
it fucking green? Come on now.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, Catwoman says she's relocating, and I think like everyone who's a fucking comic fan got this one. And might go to Bloodhaven in the comics. That is the city, is practically on Gotham's doorstep, and it's the city the first Robin, Dick Grayson, who turns into Nightwing, patrols after becoming Nightwing. So what's next for this franchise? Because they're gonna make it. Didn't they already announce the second one?
Unfortunately, a second movie.
Yeah.
Could that be an answer?
I think they could do something with Hush. Honestly, I think he fits the mold of this type of movie. I think maybe if
I feel
they're
like that's
keeping
too
it,
similar to what. Like, I feel like they got to go something other than like, I don't know, street level.
if they're keeping
kinda.
in the noir space, I think that
Yeah.
works. Otherwise, like I can see them
Yeah, I can't
go a
see
little
any
more horror and be Scarecrow.
the other thing is I can't see any other Batman villain working
No, I agree
in
with
this
you.
world. Like, what are you gonna do? Freeze? No.
It doesn't work.
What do you, Joker again? Fine. Even though the Joker looked fucking terrible.
Joker's played the fuck out, man. I'm tired of
Scarecrow again. It's fucking Batman Begins again, and like that worked for that, but like I can't even see that working. Like they grounded it so much in reality that like a fear toxin still seems out of place.
yeah.
You can't do Bane? No. Solomon Grundy? Definitely not. Fucking I don't know. Clayface? No. Who
Although I
else?
would love to see Clayface, but
Absolutely. I would love to see a Batman fight a meta again, like I previously stated. Could have just done it the other way.
yeah.
No.
I mean, and I. This is why I didn't go see this movie in theaters because it was actually it surprised me because it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Two-Face is probably the only one that works.
Draven G says, I've heard they want to have Robin in the Court of Owls in the sequel. That could actually work in this universe, I think.
Court of Owls can
Hugo
work.
Strange. Yeah,
Court-
more of those like psychological villains work in this franchise, I think.
I think the Court of Owls you need to set up a little more before you just pull them out in the second movie. Because, like, they're this, like, overarching, like, basically the underworld Illuminati. And it's like you have one villain and then you go to the Court of Owls. I would probably say either Hugo Strange or Two-Face would work.
Two-Face, I think, you have to set him up. I think he has to show up as Dent and then turn into Two-Face in the following movie. You know, I mean, they mentioned Sal Maroni. You can have that right there. That's the Two-Face setup for the third.
Yeah,
you know. So
but I don't think Two-Face is a trilogy capping villain though.
Two-Face is one of my favorite Batman villains, so I don't know. I might disagree with you on that one.
But I think he's like
capped fucking The Dark Knight with fucking Bane, and that movie sucks. That movie's bad.
But canonically, at least Bane took Batman to his limits, right? Like Two-Face is always this guy who just gets captured, like he just fucking loses, right? Unless I'm missing some kind of arc where Two-Face wins. I like another like, oh, it's just a chance, clink, and like. But also, Two-Face has been fucking done too. It's
That's
just
true.
like,
fuck it,
give
me Man Bat.
You know what? Fuck it. Just go like full mask off and just put a meta in it. Don't even explain it.
Yeah, just whatever. He's here.
Give me Killer Croc, and give me Clayface, and Solomon Grundy all teaming up. Just some big hosses. Bane, throw them in there. Just big meaty men. Killing Batman. Robert Pattinson dies. And that's how it ends. The villains win.
Okay, with that, I think that's going to wrap up our The Batman Spoilercast review. So now we will move on to Moon Knight. Moon Knight was 6 episodes. This is our Moon Knight review. Again, we will be talking about spoilers. Sorry, I got distracted. Draven G said, part of me wants to see Scarface and the Ventriloquist, which actually, that would be pretty sweet. And yeah, Devin, we know that the Joker was already in Arkham. We just didn't like it. They kept the scene in. They just didn't really show him.
What the fuck is his name? Is it Pigman or something?
Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember his name. You could look that up.
Pig villain. Batman. Fuck is it? Professor Pig, PYG.
Professor
They
Pig.
can do that.
Fuck it. Condiment King, let's go.
Yeah. Fuck it. I want them to do Professor Pig. Have a fucking just a psychotic.
That could work actually, because
yeah,
if you're keeping it in the whole like detective Batman fucking noir murder mystery universe, that actually works really well.
I have some people missing kidneys in bathtubs and shit, and then it's Professor Pig.
Yeah. Okay, with that, we're gonna get started on the Moon Knight review. 6 episodes.
That's what Devin's here for.
Damn right. As always, we will be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet and you want to watch it, you can just skip past this and go to the next one. Or if you don't care about spoilers, then yeah.
Or if you're watching live, mute it because you can't push time forward. That we just start moving real fast, and somebody's just got like a magic Twitch stream and just fast
like Click.
our life. Yeah. Oh god, that movie is sad.
Anyway, actually, this is the 2-sentence synopsis that I have for Moon Knight. Stephen Grant discovers he's been granted the powers of an Egyptian moon god, but he soon finds out that these newfound powers can be both a blessing and a curse to his troubled life.
Granted, I see what you did there.
I actually took this from IMDb, so that wasn't me.
Oh damn! Whoever did that was clever.
So Moon Knight, it's 6 episodes, starring Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, and May Calamari. I think that's how you pronounce that. Currently, it has an 87% Rotten Tomatoes score and a 69 Metacritic score.
Bit of a gap there, huh?
There is a bit of a gap there. I mean, so it's scoring higher on Rotten Tomatoes than the Batman did, and scoring lower.
I mean, it always does that, though.
Overall, Scott, what did you think of Moon Knight?
1 second. I have to text my wife. I could hear her over my headphones. So I'm sure you can hear.
I can't hear her, so.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe I just have sensitive ears. I think it falls into the category of Marvel shows where it's like the ones I've seen at least, where like the first 2 episodes are really good, and then it kind of hard plateaus.
Yeah.
Except episode 5
for the penultimate.
was the peak.
Yeah.
And then 6 dropped again for me.
Like
I think 5 is one of the best episodes of comic book TV. Full stop. And I think it set me up. My expectations a little too high for the end of it, and I think part of me thinks that they had an ending where they're like, all right, we're only going to do a one and done if this isn't so popular, and then we have this other ending where it's going to be like, well, okay, there might be more to come.
So they tease. So Stephen Grant, who is also, God damn it, why can't Mark Spector, who is also Jake Lockley, who we don't see until the very end, who is all the same person with multiple personalities. Can't speak. They were teasing him throughout the whole series. So
yeah.
But I agree with you where they could have just been like, we're not going to use him. Also, I really wanted it to just be all in the asylum. Like, I really wanted the whole thing to just be all in his head.
Yeah.
Part of me was like, I was watching it with Alexa, and she's like, I would hate it if that's what happened. I'm like, no, I think that would be fantastic if this was just all like in his mind. I really wanted it to be that, but it wasn't that. But
part of me wanted it to be like the part of the asylum. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Dev. My alerts are still broken. God damn it. Part of me wanted it to be in like a hospital where they would tease that like, oh man, like why is all this blood going missing? And then they kind of link the hospital he's in with Blade. You know, kind of thing. Because like in Blade 2, they like prey on blood banks.
Yeah.
So it's like you can easily throw a blood bank in there and like tease Blade and have it just be like I would say not have him not be Moon Knight, but have the entirety of what happened, the events, be in his head.
That's what I wanted. That's what I thought would
like he still has the ability to be Moon Knight.
Yeah.
But he's just fucking nuts. And like the first season is just kind of a wash, like it never happened. And then it could just like that could allow you to do some crazy shit. And then, you know, whenever they do the Midnight Suns with, you know, Blade and Moon Knight and Ghost Rider and Punisher, hopefully they bring him back too. That would be cool. But like, I feel like they got to keep this shit away from the main storyline for as long as humanly possible.
So, when we get into Easter eggs, there are some Easter eggs that connect it with the greater MCU, and I think that that's
Yeah.
fine. I prefer. I also would
No, it's
prefer,
obviously going to be connected, but I'd say like not
like
bring it
you don't want
all
fucking
the way
Falcon
in.
showing up in Moon Knight, like
No, or like whatever the next fucking big team up is. It's just not going to be like a Peter Parker, like, oh, gee Willikers, fucking Blade. Like, I don't want that. I mean, they already brought Daredevil into Spider-Man, which is just like, I get it, they're together, but like,
no,
keep everything else.
I would like to see a Midnight Suns thing where they're like subtly involved with the MCU, but like they're kind of just their own thing. I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, but although like seeing who's attached to write the new Daredevil stuff, not the most hopeful.
Yeah, I know.
They wrote like some Christmas movie and that's it. It's just like, oh, this you have all this cool stuff that already came ahead of it. So it's kind of like it's a tough fact to follow.
Do you think, I know we're getting off topic, but do you think they're going to keep the Netflix Daredevil stuff canon?
They said it's like a interconnected reboot. I think is the phrasing that they used.
Because I've seen rumor articles that they're going to bring back back everyone. That they're going to bring back Coulter for Luke Cage. And Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter. And that they're even whenever they decide to do something with Iron Fist, that they might. I think the newer Iron Fist in the comics is Asian, and I think they're gonna be kind of basically have him do it, but they're gonna keep Finn Jones as to show up as a cameo as Danny Rand. That's what I heard, and like I'm fine with all that.
They're not gonna keep the story though. I think it's just like, okay, we know these are the people, and we're just gonna like kind of ignore what happened before. Like you're gonna get the Kingpin story again, and you're gonna get a Bullseye again. It's not gonna be like, okay, let's pick up right after season 3.
Yeah, no,
and he's covered in spaghetti sauce instead of blood. To keep it Disney Plus. Dev said the Avengers would definitely treat Moon Knight as a villain, like Edward Norton's Hulk. How it's the same but not. Yeah, like how they kind of just kind of think that the Hulk happened. Like you don't like General Ross is there.
Yeah.
Abomination is there, but they never really bring it up. So I mean, that's tough because Daredevil's great. I love Daredevil.
So to get back on track with Moon Knight, I agree with you. Where like. And a lot of the Marvel shows do this, where it's like really good at first, kind of plateaus. Sometimes it gets better, sometimes it just gets worse. And I think the same thing. The first couple episodes, awesome. Episode 5, awesome. Episode 6, like the finale, passable. Like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't
bad.
It wasn't great. And I do love the character. I don't really know much about Moon Knight. But
I heard it wasn't as faithful.
I have heard that too. From what I've looked up,
I've seen a lot of people kind of not happy with it. Yeah.
But I thought Oscar Isaac did a fantastic job.
He's acting his ass off in that thing.
Yeah, he deserves an Emmy for this performance. I think. He's
at least
great.
a nomination. He was great in it.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. Like as a whole, I enjoyed it. So
yeah,
it was good. And I just don't know if they're gonna bring it back because. I've heard that they have no plans to do a sequel, but I don't know if we need a season 2.
Yeah.
If we do bring him back, I'd like to see him be with like Blade or the Punisher or Ghost Rider or something like that.
And that's what's like the kind of like overarching like not theme but like vibe of Phase 4. It kind of like you don't know where the fuck it's going.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you could piece it together, right? You can kind of be like, oh, you saw Doctor Strange's wife at the end of Doctor Strange. Spoiler, sorry. It's the end credit, whatever. So you're like, you could kind of be like, oh, when did she show up? What kind of arcs were there? There was a lot of incursions, and it's like a lot of people are thinking Secret Wars, but then you have to bring in the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom for that first.
Well, we'll get there when we talk about our next review.
Yeah, but it's just like, what are you doing with all the shows? Like, how do the shows mix in?
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's like,
I think this
do you
is
see
just
like
completely
these?
disconnected. I think it's just like a one-off
Yeah.
show, and that's how they're going to
Okay,
treat it.
you don't see like Moon Knight showing up
No, I
in
don't.
like whatever
I highly doubt
culmination
it.
of this.
I think
Or like what about Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk? She-Hulk's definitely connected, so you got to imagine She-Hulk's gonna.
well, Ms. Marvel is going to be
Show.
in the next Captain Marvel movie because it's called The Marvels.
Okay.
So she's definitely
Yeah.
showing
So
up.
like is Moon Knight the only one that's getting snubbed and stuff?
think
Like
so.
I don't get.
But I
like,
think it's
I think
because I think it's because Oscar Isaac was like, I don't want to do like I want to do something that's disconnected. Like when they presented it to him, he was like, I think he was
okay.
kind of like, I don't want it to be this.
Yeah, until
bigger
Kevin
thing.
Feige backs a money truck up to this front
true.
lawn, then he's gonna do whatever the fuck they ask him to do.
The one thing I will say about Moon Knight that I noticed was that I just don't think they had the budget for it, but the set design was not the best.
A lot of CGI was kind of hit or miss.
CGI was also hit or miss, but like when they're in the pyramids and stuff, it's everything. Nothing looks old. Everything looks like it's like Global Guts. Like it looks like it's just.
Do you have?
It looks like it's like on like a Nickelodeon like Legends of the Hidden Temple like soundstage. Like it doesn't.
Disney Star Wars look like that.
Does not look good.
Like all of Disney Star Wars stuff looks like it was just installed. Like,
yeah.
Even though it could look worn, it looks like a new worn
like,
prop.
Tatooine is like gentrified Tatooine. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Everything kind of has this bubbly plastic look about it. It looks like it's a theme park. If you go to the theme park,
Exactly.
you're like, this looks exactly like the movie set, and they didn't change it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Disney set designs are kind of until they started using the volume for the Mandalorian, which looks really good. Like the Mandalorian aside, like completely stands out from the other movies, but also Thor: Love and Thunder uses the volume, and that didn't look great. When they did use it, you could tell like Thor on the ship and on the Bifrost, it was just like I'm on a green screen kind of thing.
Marvel's
it's
been doing a lot of that recently, and
I feel like they well, I mean, when you don't have fucking competition, you could just fucking do whatever you want. You have this gigantic fan base.
Yeah, but you
who's
have
gonna
to
see.
You have to at least, I don't know. Like,
hey, the majority of the Marvel fan base.
There's a standard. There's a standard. Yeah, I know. We're all gonna
yeah,
say
but
it.
you are all.
I'm the problem. I realize.
You're a film fan first, and then a Marvel fan, right? A lot of people are just straight up like, these are the only movies. Marvel. What's the next? Who's gonna show up after the credits? What's Skippy McDippy's gonna say? Hey, it's me, and then it's gonna cut to black. Like the majority of the general audience is just like, I'm only gonna go see these movies.
Yeah.
You can tell. Like other movies are just bombing because they're not Marvel, so they're gonna just fucking go, and they're like, why are we gonna bust our ass? We're just gonna put out something that looks okay, and then people are gonna come see it.
You're not wrong.
They don't have competition.
So, all right, rank the episodes. Episode 1, The Goldfish Problem. Episode 2, Summon the Suit. Episode 3, The Friendly Type. Episode 4, The Tomb. Episode 5, Asylum. And Episode 6, Gods and Monsters.
Episode 5 is number 1. Episode 1 is number 2. Episode 2 is number 3. 6 is 4. 4 is 5. 3 is 6.
That's my exact order.
Let's go! Look at us agreeing. This is a breath of fresh air. It's way easier than arguing.
My exact order. Yep, episode 5 was great. Episode 1 was great, and episode 1 was great because you didn't really know it was happening yet, and it still had that like,
ooh, what's coming next?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
What's this? You want to learn more? Episode 2 had a lot of that too, but it like, gave us a little bit. 3 wasn't great.
It's a Easter egg. Yeah, I don't want to
what
pull the rug out from under you, but like episode 1, if it's not going to be connected, why have the Latvia castle and the Von Doom cupcake boxes or whatever?
We don't know if was it Latvia? That wasn't never confirmed.
He's in a van. Yeah, but he's in a van that has Von Doom boxes in the back of it.
Does it?
It's like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that at all. That's not even in my Easter eggs. It wasn't in any of the Easter egg sites that I looked up either.
Let me see. I could have sworn.
Right before I get into the Easter eggs.
Good. I'm a Segway fucking machine tonight. Do Monday. Let's see. There's the fucking circle. Just give me a picture of the box, please. Yeah, there's a box in the.
You have it up
Yeah,
on
hold on.
reaction screen?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going reaction screen. Oh, shit. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
See? Is this Doctor Doom?
Yeah. This is exactly what you were talking about before.
They used the cutout from like a shitty Marvel mobile game. Like that's not even a cool looking Doctor Doom. That's like pay $5.99 to get enough Marvel coins to unlock fucking Doctor Doom in this card game.
All
on
right,
your
so
phone.
yeah, so there's Von Doom boxes in the back of this.
And
is
that's the
episode
scene-
1 or 2? Episode 2.
That's one. He's driving
When he's driving the
This
van.
is where he's driving the ice cream or the cupcake van.
Okay,
And then he crashes, and then he's in, and then you see the castle behind him.
which is possibly Doctor Doom's castle. Shit.
Yeah, which
All
could be
right.
Latvia.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so all right, so we'll
back
start
to
Easter eggs with that, where
Yeah.
we're probably gonna get Doctor Doom. Some other Easter eggs that I had. Amongst the many notifications of Layla through, I don't. This is worded very weirdly. So Layla has her cell phone. She's getting a bunch of notifications that Mark Spector is going through. One of the callers is Duchamp. Jean-Paul Duchamp was a soldier like Spectre, but one who joined the French Legion. He was a mercenary when the two met, and Spectre calls him Frenchie in the comics. So he's kind of like a sidekick character. So that was a nod. Most people who, I don't know anything about Moon Knight, so I didn't pick up on that. Villain Arthur Harrow only appears in one issue of the comics, Moon Knight #2, which was in 1985, and he is a geneticist who creates soldiers who cannot feel pain.
Oh.
Moon Knight survived Thanos' snap, as his passport was seen to be issued to him on December 2018. During Moon Knight's fight with a jackal-like creature in the streets, there's a shot of a London bus featuring an ad for the global I can't say this word.
Reparation?
No.
Attrition?
Repatriation? Yeah. Repatriation Council, also known as the GRC. This is an organization that was plot crucial to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. After half of Earth's living creatures suddenly returned, most of the humans would need help getting reinstated, reuniting with their family, finding work, just, coming to grips with what happened. And also on the top of the bus has WBN 0032 printed on top of it, which is a reference to Werewolf by Night #32, Moon Knight's comics debut.
Yeah, he used to fight werewolves, as Devin stated in the chat.
When most viewers saw him talking to the golden living statue, so the guy who's like posing as the statue, they assumed it was potentially a reference or a slight nod to something from the comics, and some even guessed correctly who it was. But one of the show writers has now officially confirmed that the silent busker is, in fact, another of Moon Knight's allies, Bertrand Crawley. Posing as a living statue makes sense, as Crawley likes to embrace his dramatic side at times, and being out in public like that only helps his role as a street-level informant. This version of the character doesn't have flies swarming around him or many tea bags handy. I don't fucking know what any of this means. I just pulled this off. But I guess that's
Just
who he is.
what are you talking about? This doesn't read like you just copied and pasted it from anywhere.
But when he does finally speak, it will be most likely in the character's posh British accent. The former textbook salesman might not be speaking to... I'm giving you a bio of this character as we go. The former textbook
Glad they
salesman
left this out.
might not be speaking to Grant currently, because in the comics he is the contact of another personality, Jake Lockley, meaning that this odder version of the familiar face is throwing him off. Crowley's inclusion could also lead to a future villain, his son, known as Slasher.
Ooh, creative.
We
I
got
wonder
a
what
couple
he
more.
does as the villain.
Without the Scarab to guide them, Mark Spector and Layla have to discern where Ammit's tomb could be. They eventually leads them to Annette Mogart and his collection of stolen antiques. Mogart is known as Midnight Man in the comics, a thief who strikes precisely at the stroke of midnight.
Really not efficient.
Yeah. Damn it.
Alarm.
Give me 1 second.
12:01. 12:01. He's like, fuck. I'll be back tomorrow.
I thought this one was pretty cool. When his contact in Cairo is murdered by by men loyal to Ammit, Mark Spector has no choice but to beat the information he needs out of the killers. He shows some hesitation when it comes to hitting the youngest of the assailants, who is stylishly dressed in a denim jacket. The print on the back of the jacket is mostly white with a splattering of teal and purple, but the design itself is what's interesting here. Only extreme perceptive viewers and comic book scholars will recognize this as reference to Pharaoh Ramatut. Ramatut is one of the many variants of Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror we got in the Loki series. So, and I think he's actually going to be in Ant-Man, like Quantumania or whatever that's called. So
I forgot about that.
I think that I thought that was pretty cool. And then our last one, Taweret, the hippo goddess, mentions the astral plane, which was seen in Black Panther. So those are the Easter eggs that we got here.
Wakanda Forever is going to be interesting. While we're on the topic of Black Panther,
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna. I still know how they're gonna do it.
I don't know how they're
Like
gonna
I
pull
have
it off.
no idea how they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. They probably should have just. They honestly probably should have just not moved forward with Black Panther 2, and should have finished telling the Wakanda story in other series. I think.
Yeah.
But I think because of its cultural representation, I think they felt like they needed to, which I don't disagree with. But it's going to be really hard.
I wonder how out of taste it would be
to recast.
Since you're bringing in, if you're bringing in the multiverse, just have him be have them go to Doctor Strange and they're like, we need a Black Panther from a universe that doesn't need their Black Panther. You know what I mean, or something.
Well, in What If, Michael B. Jordan becomes Black Panther.
Oh, didn't he die in Black Panther 1?
Yeah, but What If is all multiverse stories.
Yeah,
you could rip him out of the multiverse. He could be Black Panther
and not have him be actually T'Challa.
Yeah,
and have him be, I forgot his name. Killmonger.
Killmonger, yeah,
is real. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, Michael B. Jordan heading your franchise. You could have worse actors.
He's great.
I mean,
there we go. There we go. We just that's it. We're gonna look back on this in like a year whenever Wakanda Forever comes out and be like,
whatever.
Called
the trailer. Yeah,
yeah.
That could be. Yeah, that could be. I mean, but throwing Doctor Strange in more movies, it's like, okay, now he's just becoming like plot armor.
Well, I just figured that the whole multiversal thing is going to just like float over into other movies. Because we have it in Spider-Man, we have it in, like, it started in Loki, we have it in Spider-Man, we have it in Doctor Strange.
But as of now, Doctor Strange is a catalyst for it.
Yeah.
Or actually, what's her name? I forgot her name. Not America. Yeah, America.
Yeah, America Chavez.
America Chavez. Yeah, she's the actual catalyst for it. But maybe she could be the plot armor that runs around in everybody else's movies.
So what's next for Moon Knight?
Another segue.
Honestly.
Oh, never mind.
Well, almost a segue. What's next for Moon Knight? I mean, I don't know. I don't see them doing anything else. I would love
Midnight Suns.
That's what I would want. That's what I would want.
Don't do a season 2. Just fucking get Ghost Rider, bring John Bernthal back as Punisher,
and then Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Yeah.
And Midnight Suns. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, with that is our review of Moon Knight. I will give it. I think it was okay. It was good. It was good.
Yeah,
it wasn't great. It was good.
It's something I look forward to watching every week.
Yeah.
Not the best, but not bad either.
So with that, we're gonna get into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and as always, we will be talking about spoilers. So this one, another 2-long sentence synopsis for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange teams up with a mysterious teenage girl from his dreams who can travel across multiverses.
Ugh.
This is a weird synopsis here.
It's not a great look for Doctor Strange.
Oh man. Okay, let's try that again. Doctor Strange teams up with a mysterious teenage girl from his dreams who can travel across multiverses to battle multiple threats, including other universe versions of himself, which threaten to wipe out millions across the multiverse. They seek help from Wanda the Scarlet Witch, Wong, and others. That's that. Thank you, IMDb, for that wonderful
I agree. You can't
wonderful plot
really
synopsis.
You can't really synopsize it without spoiling.
I
a little
know.
bit,
Okay.
so.
It was directed by Sam Raimi. For you all know him from the original Spider-Man trilogy and also the Evil Dead franchise. It was written by Michael Waldron. Didn't look up what he did. Stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda the Scarlet Witch.
Luck on this one.
I think it's pronounced Xochitl Gomez as America Chavez. It's Xochitl. I think it's pronounced Xochitl. I am not positive though.
It's a hell of a name.
And Benedict Wong as Wong, to name just a few of the people in the
Couple
movie.
of Benedicts.
Current scores, it's got a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 60 on Metacritic. I'm actually surprised it's this low.
A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people,
Really?
like anecdotally, a lot of my friends didn't like it.
How? I don't get it. All right, I don't know. Like a lot of your Marvel friends didn't like it?
I don't have many,
Okay.
but a lot of my friends who are just avid comic book movie enjoyers were like, "What the fuck was that?"
Was it too... and also Denny Elfman did the music. Thank you, Draven G. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
uh,
What is that one instrument Danny Elfman has?
Wow, that's surprising because I thought this was definitely like top tier Marvel.
I mean, the discourse online is like widely mixed.
Really?
A lot of people were like, "That was awful." A lot of people were like, "That was fucking cool," and I fell into that was fucking cool camp.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I thought this was fantastic.
Yeah.
So Scott, give us
Dev goes, "What I thought was strange is we all met at the theater at the same time."
That's definitely strange. Doctor Strange.
A lot of people said that they didn't like Wanda being the villain, and it was a little too horror-y.
But that's why I fucking liked it.
Yeah, I think it was a shot in the arm, right? It was,
and I loved Wanda being the villain. Spoilers.
We were sitting in the theater together, and I was sitting there for the first 15 minutes, and I was like, "Boy, this is a stinker. It is a big stinker." And I was like, the beginning of that movie is just like very out of place.
It's very Marvel movie.
It doesn't feel like it fit. It felt very tacked on compared to the rest of the movie. But as soon as you see Wanda, she came on the screen and I was fucking hooked. Like I was in my seat. Like I didn't even want to blink. I was like, I want to see everything she did. She was fucking cool. Where she was attacking all of the fucking people. What are his minions called? Doctor Strange?
Just sorcerers, right?
Sorcerers, yeah. The Strangettes. They were all lined up. And Benedict
What
was
is...
wrong. Fortify your minds! And then she like fucking singled out the one guy who was like weak-willed.
Yep.
And she told him to run, and he fucking took off and broke all the bubbles and shit. And she was just a horror movie villain. The way they portrayed her moving around through like puddles and like reflections and shit. She like crawled out of a gong all backwards and like cracking and shit. It was straight up horror. It was straight up Sam Raimi. It was fucking cool. Like, she's easily the best Marvel villain. She claps Thanos' cheeks. Get his purple ass out of here. But who else? I mean, Marvel isn't known for its villains. It's more known for its heroes. But,
D'Onofrio as Kingpin.
I mean, if we're talking about a straight up fight.
Well, yeah, she would win, but I'm talking about,
she turns him into an
villain.
actual She turns him into an actual bowling pin. And he just sits there and he's like, "Vanessa, help me." Bowling pin.
I think she was fantastic as a villain. And the thing is, she is a villain in the comics sometimes too, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Also, she was getting like slowly turned into a villain like Khaleesi style since Age of Ultron.
Oh yeah. Did you
like that's been
watch
the longest? Not yet.
Okay.
But
you should.
I know the gist of it. But like that's been the longest term subtle storytelling in the entire MCU was Wanda's slow descent into becoming the Scarlet Witch.
Exactly. And they did it perfectly.
Yeah, because you didn't expect it too. You weren't like it wasn't in your face like an end credit scene where she was like sitting at the Sims creating her kids.
No, I thought he was going to team up with her like the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, she's the villain of this movie.
Yeah. You don't see her just like staring down the lens of the camera and like, "Hey, I'm going to be the bad guy." Speaking of staring down the lens of the camera, there was a fourth wall break in that movie where she did stare down the lens of the camera, and it sent a chill down my back. Not like I didn't expect to get out of a Marvel movie. Like really proper creepy stuff.
See, this is the thing is I want more. I'm fine with most of the Marvel movies. I do want more of a variety where like give us like these darker stories.
Yeah.
Where they make sense.
I feel like it
And
all
this
comes
made
down
sense.
to directors, right? If you get a director that they're just going to tack on to a movie, they're just going to put it in the mold, and then they're going to put it through the Marvel machine, and they're going to spit it out.
I know you don't like Thor, but like Taika Waititi is a comedy director, and if you've watched anything else that he's done, like those those Thor
he has
movies,
his stamp on it.
Those Thor movies are literally Taika Waititi movies. Like, yeah.
I don't like him particularly, but like credit where credit is due. Those are his movies. I think his movies fit the Marvel mold better than Sam Raimi's movies would fit the Marvel mold. And I think that's why, it worked. But I think that's why the general audience received his movie better than Sam Raimi's, because while it is a Taika Waititi movie, it does fit under the umbrella a little better.
Mm-hmm.
And like then you're gonna get movies like Ant-Man and Quantumania where like I don't even know who the fuck's directed it. And I don't even think it matters. Yeah, I don't even think it needs a director. I think they just fucking
Kevin Feige directed it.
And, it's just like, and then you get those movies that are very like run of the mill. This is here for the cameos and the plot points to move the larger story ahead. But like, if I'm fine with that, but if Marvel can give us 1-2 of these a phase,
it is Peyton Reed.
Then you're gonna,
he directed the other 2 Ant-Man movies. It's like, yeah.
I haven't even seen Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It's okay.
But like, if I can get 1 or 2 of these movies a phase where it's just like, okay, cool, it's a big diversion from the formula, and it's takes a little bit of risks, and in this case took a lot of risks. But I think you're gonna get more of that with the multiverse, because it allows you to do riskier shit, because then you're like, there's infinite of this character left. So if you ever need to bring him back, it's just like, all right, you reach through a portal and you pull him in, and it's like, hey.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, instead of like, they're dead. No, they're not. Because Marvel was doing that for a while, and I fucking hated it. Didn't have the balls to kill someone. It's also an easy way to recast someone, too, if you need to. It's like, oh, we'll just go get fucking Earth 8000's Hawkeye or whatever,
But
like,
let's hope they don't over rely on it, because it is a really useful writer tool to have that much at your disposal, where they could either over rely on that kind of stuff where they're like, oh, let's recast, let's bring in another one, let's kill him, but bring in this guy. Or they can like it's such an ever present thing that if they ever don't mention it, it's going to be a huge plot hole. Like, oh, why didn't they just go to the multiverse and do that? True. You know what I mean? So it's like a blessing and a curse where they have to like really think about this huge thing that they just opened up, where it's just like even in Spider-Man, when they did that, like a little bit of the multiverse stuff and then a little bit of the fucking around with Doctor Strange, like his powers are pretty like ubiquitous. Like you could do a lot of shit with it. And where he's like, oh, let me make people forget that Peter Parker's Spider-Man. And it's like, well, why don't you just make people forget, Quentin or whatever his name is, Mysterio. Yeah. And like you're going to still go back to like high school and see Peter Parker in a shrine with Spider-Man, and people are gonna be like, who the fuck, why is that a thing? And it's just like, you're creeping into this territory where it's like, you're gonna open yourself up to a lot of people like, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, you're gonna have to like think a little bit more about what you do storyline wise.
So I think with with Multiverse of Madness done with, I'm going to say Doctor Strange probably doesn't want to jump into multiverses. So, but now you have America Chavez, who she's probably going to be the one where it's like, we need a new Black Panther. And like, it's, she just goes through and whatever. Which I'm like that, fine with that. And then you can have, someone kills her and it's like, oh, well, now we can't use the multiverse anymore. I thought that very much like this movie is a Sam Raimi movie. just like
Yeah.
Thor is a
Down to
Taika
the
Waititi
camera
movie.
movements.
This is a Sam Raimi movie. Yeah. Which is, I think, also why I enjoyed it so much. It was so good. I did have something else I wanted to say, and I can't fucking remember what that is. Oh, okay. I remember now. So, Mordo. This is one thing that, like, slightly bothered me. Mordo is still at large. Like, this Earth Mordo, or the canon universe Mordo. Because he left in Doctor Strange 1, and we did not get any of his story for this Doctor Strange. So could he come back
Lesto
in 3?
I would assume so. Also, they had one of the coolest hand-to-hand fight scenes ever in the MCU. Like, low-key, in, like, not low-key, but, like, in that little pit in front of the Illuminati. Like, there's no reason why they had to go that hard, but they beat the shit out of each other because they didn't have any powers.
Yeah.
They just fucking, yeah. He's like, my hands might be broken, but you're going to be about to catch them. I'm going to punch the shit out of you.
Of the Illuminati.
Another segue.
Which was probably one of the best scenes in the movie, if not. So
yeah, it popped me a little bit.
It popped a lot of people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Did you notice how, spoilers, well, we'll get right into it, but did you notice how Reed Richards entered was the same kind of technology as like that
Loki uses?
That agency that Loki uses?
Yep. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was very surprised to see Reed Richards. I didn't think they were going to do it. Because they mentioned...
Yeah, John Krasinski, too.
Yeah. Although, he was a little underwhelming. Kind of phoned it in. But, whatever.
His performance unraveled a little
Still
bit.
Looked good. Yeah. And we got Black Bolt, which I was surprised to see. And he's actually the Black Bolt from the Inhumans show that everyone says is
Nobody
terrible.
Fucking remembers.
Yeah. I knew we were going to get Xavier. Everyone knew that. And then we got Captain Carter and Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel. Which
the guy who plays Black Bolt?
Yeah.
Okay, in my book. Because he spends his free time shit talking James Gunn on Twitter. And I'm like, hey, I could kind of relate to that guy.
After seeing this movie, I've seen on Twitter that like everyone there hasn't been a good Inhumans or Black Bolt storyline in the comics, apparently, because they don't know how to use them, from what I've been hearing. Like, I've seen a bunch of tweets. It's like, remember that time when Black Bolt and the Inhumans saved humanity? And it's like, oh yeah, it never happened. Like, it's just like, yeah, they never used them correctly or whatever. But I thought he was great in this movie. And fucking Wanda shows up and just flat out murders them all, which was insane. I was not expecting that at all. And yeah, this movie is so good.
I just gotta applaud the creativity of getting rid of Black Bolt's mouth and then him being so frightened about it that he like instinctively screams and it has nowhere to go and it just blows the back of his head out because he's got a big booming voice.
Wouldn't it still just blow out his mouth though? Like, why would it reverb off of his skin and blow out his skull? I'm just thinking about it too much now, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was still cool. I don't care.
Well, it didn't even blow out his skull because you got to imagine his body's immune to it. His body, because the voice has to come from his vocal cords through his esophagus out of his mouth. So if his body wasn't invulnerable to it, he would talk and his cheeks would blow out, his head would come off, right? It would all start from his vocal cords and blow out. So you got to assume his body's got some kind of
bounced around for a bit and then...
But it like hit his skin, which obviously his skin has to be resistant to it because it's coming out of his mouth, the skin, and all this stuff. So it hit and it went back and it blew his brain out because his brain was never like obviously experienced the voice. So that's my headcanon. It literally made a headcanon because that's why it didn't actually blow the skull out.
Yeah,
because the skin caught it. You saw the bone.
And because it's PG-13.
Yeah, that too. Well, I'm just thinking. Because you kind of saw like a hole where the skull broke. Yeah. But his skin
and it got all like soft.
So you got to imagine his skin is impervious to the voice.
And then she turned fucking Reed Richards into Twizzler.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, spaghetti.
Well, yeah, Twizzler. Fantastic farfalle.
Fucking
blew him up.
Cut Captain Carter in half.
Great. But She was like, I could do this all day. She said I could do this all day, and Captain America still didn't fucking say it when he was facing off with Thanos when the portals opened behind him. I'm still mad about that. He said nothing. They paused. Anyway, okay, let's get back to Doctor Strange.
Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel gets crushed by like a giant brick or something. I don't know.
She gets crushed by a statue that looked like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I was like, who is that?
And then we get to watch fucking Professor Xavier die for the millionth fucking time on screen, and it never gets easier watching him die. God fucking damn it.
I heard that the fight was supposed to be a little more involved.
Yeah. I loved when Xavier used his power and they had the
wobbly bits come out of his head.
And it was like the circle, the circle, like wobbly circles come out of his head from like the show. Oh man, that was great. That happened. I was like, yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's what that whole scene was. It was just like, here you go. But like this opening up I just think the idea of like getting another X-Men movie and getting a Fantastic Four movie where they do have the ability to like be all interconnected. Like the interconnected stuff was kind of like losing its luster after a couple of times where you saw like that first Avengers where Iron Man and Cap landed together. You were like, God, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then like subsequently you would start to get like diminishing returns. Bringing in like this huge roster of characters like the X-Men and then Fantastic Four with Doctor Doom and that being a really potentially cool villain kind of reignites that like, oh cool, we get to see these people together again.
Yes. And
because like you get a multiverse, you got to assume that in the next big fucking team up there's gonna be a variant of Tony Stark. There's gonna be a variant of Cap at some point through the multiverse. Because like, yeah, sure, they're done on this earth, but if you're gonna want to get like people to fucking lose their shit, you're gonna get a multiverse version of the Avengers and
do Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah, do something like that. Like you got like Civil War, but stakes
higher.
Well, I would say higher stakes, but I would say higher stakes, but just stakes, full stop. Because Civil War was not stakeful.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Pretty vegetarian as far as stakes go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you gotta imagine that like while like I said, it's a powerful tool and it's a double-edged sword, right? It's like so super powerful, but it can start to like wane on the ability to tell cohesive stories. But fuck it, if I get a portal opening and you get like the original Avengers coming in and fighting the X-Men at some point, like cool, I'm down for that.
Draven G says, did you catch the original X-Men theme from the 90s cartoon when Xavier showed up? Yeah, that was awesome. I was going to mention that.
The only cool part of that score in that whole movie was the original. Was the original X-Men theme.
And Matty Obese, I see your comments. A Fantastic Four movie would that doesn't suck would be nice. It would. Yeah.
Who would you cast as the Fantastic Four?
You know, like, after seeing like John Krasinski looked good, but he didn't have the like enthusiasm I needed from him to be Reed Richards. It was kind of very flat.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Rock is the Thing. I don't know about that. Maybe. I don't know if that works. I don't know who I would cast.
So, if I'm going a new Reed Richards, like we don't use John Krasinski, I would probably do like Andrew Lincoln. Just because I think he could be a good Reed Richards. I'm gonna skip Sue Storm for now. I would say Zac Efron for Johnny Storm.
I could see that.
And it sucks. I mean, because Ben Grimm is gonna be Andrew Lincoln-ish age.
Rick, Rick.
Yeah,
I had to look up Andrew Lincoln. I forgot who he was. I don't know, man.
I mean, just a look alone, I could see it. Because I mean, you're gonna need an older actor, but whoever you insert old white guy, right? You can. There are a dime a dozen in Hollywood. You can pick whoever the fuck. But
maybe I'm just gonna see Rick though.
All right, but you can who the fuck else could you pick? Some old white guy like Billy Crudup, fucking anybody. Like you could even keep John Krasinski. Is this any of those, mid 40s?
Yeah.
white actors.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm looking through fan casts here. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. No, what?
No, thank
That's
you.
terrible. Ben Affleck. Bring him back. Make him Reed Richards.
He wouldn't be a bad Reed Richards, actually.
I don't know. I don't want Marvel to have my boy. But Ben Grimm has to be Hank from Breaking Bad.
I don't know who that is. Like, I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on.
Okay,
What the
I
fuck
see
is
it. But he's not.
right?
He's not. I don't know. You need someone that's
He's
a little bit
Ben
more
Grimm.
jacked.
Not for Ben Grimm. The pre-thing Ben Grimm.
Yeah, maybe not.
Let's see. Ben Grimm.
Say what you will about the original Fantastic Four movies. Michael Chiklis did not do a bad job as the Thing. He looked bad.
I watched them recently. They're not that bad.
They're okay. Yeah. Well, the second one's
They're
bad.
really not.
The second one's really bad.
Yeah.
But the first one's not that bad. It's okay.
They're not incredibly bad movies. I watched it and I was like, oh, you know what? This is kind of cool.
Who would you cast? All right, Sue Storm.
I'm. See, if you're gonna go Zac Efron, you got to think of someone who looks similar and blonde. I mean, you can
dye hair.
Yeah, and you can race swap too. Let's see. God, I'm drawing a blank here. Holy shit. Let's see what the internet has to say. Let's see. Jessica Alba. How about that?
No, please. As much as I love Jessica Alba.
I mean,
there you go, Draven. David Arbor is Ben Grimm. Perfect.
Oh, wow.
That's a perfect cast.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to give you that one. All right. Fuck that. David Harbour is Ben Grimm. But if John Krasinski being Reed Richards, the easy one is Emily Blunt for Sue Storm. Just because, they're together in real life. But like that's just so like such a fucking like a lob down the middle. Trying to think. Yeah, all these fan casts are just like Jennifer Lawrence, Emily Blunt.
No,
It's
Jennifer Lawrence wouldn't. I think she's.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do
she's
superhero
done
movies
with superhero
anyway.
movies. Yeah.
And it's also hard to find an actress that hasn't been in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones. She played Khaleesi's like right-hand woman. I think that's how you say her name. Big hair. She was in Fast. Did you see Fast and Furious?
Yeah. I know who she is.
Yeah, she plays the tech girl, the one who made God's Eye. That one.
How about
Fuck it.
Nah, I don't think I'm a big fan of Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, but
I think she might be too. I think she might be too young, because Sue Storm's supposed to be like in her 30s.
Let's see who the internet is saying Johnny Storm should be.
Now we're just fan casting Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dude for Stranger Things would be pretty good. The guy who played Billy.
I can see it.
Dacker Montgomery. He played the Red Ranger in the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott, rank best to worst Illuminati deaths.
Oh, that's good. Best Black Bolt.
Yes.
Number 1. 2, Reed Richards.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Captain Carter at 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I just glanced down. I said 2 Captain Carter, 3 Reed Richards,
Yes.
4 Captain Marvel. 4 Professor X, 5 Captain Marvel.
Agreed. There you go. Yeah, it's mine too.
Boom. 2 for 2.
Oh, poor for Professor X.
Yeah, he had the yellow wheelchair though. Which is great.
Yeah, it wasn't even a wheelchair. It was like the floating chair. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh man, so good. I don't understand how anyone.
You think he's got his legs extended?
We got zombie Doctor Strange in this fucking movie. How do people not like this? I don't get it.
Yeah. People said that the ending was too like convenient, but I texted you this. It had the same ending as BBS. It ended with moms being the same, and the villain, the hero turned villain, turned back into a hero after learning the error of their ways. So if we're gonna broad stroke it, same as BVS.
You're not wrong. Easter eggs from Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. In the universe where Strange and America Chavez are captured, Christine Palmer tells them that they are currently in Earth 838 and that they are from Earth 616.
Isn't that like the original comic book?
Any comic book fan knows that Earth 616
yeah.
is the universe where the main Marvel canon takes place. One of the universes that Strange and Chavez jump through shows dinosaurs, suggesting the Savage Land. The Eye of Agamotto has been part of the MCU since Doctor Strange as the housing unit for the Time Stone. However, in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, he gains access to the real Eye of Agamotto. That's when he gets his third eye. Like his darker self, who had been corrupted by the Darkhold in a different universe. That's from What If. Earth 616, Doctor Strange gets a mystical third eye. And this is also suggesting that they're going to go into Secret Wars, because I believe they use the Eye of Agamotto. Yep, here it is. In the comic, I didn't see that this is my next one. In the comics, this helps Stephen fight against Dark Force and even discerns Skrulls. Very helpful for Secret Invasion consequences. Yet here, since it comes from the Darkhold, it could come with a drastic cost. So we could
read something that Secret Invasion happened during the blip.
Possible.
They're
making a Secret Invasion show.
Yeah, I think it occurs during the blip, the 5 years.
Okay. I mean, that would make sense, because then they would come. The Skrulls would come.
The heroes are gone.
Well, I was thinking because the Skrulls can transform into people, they come to Earth to pose as people who have disappeared during the blip.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to see the show ends. Guy comes back.
Yeah. Right.
Mid poop. And there's a Skrull that looks like him in his house.
It's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? You gotta imagine people got blipped in really bad situations.
Yeah. What about all those people that got blipped while they were on the airplane? Like they just come back and they're falling.
What about people who are fucking? That's got to be a trip. Half of the horizontal tango gets blipped. You're like, where'd they go? And then 5 years later, you moved out of grief. You're like, my husband's gone.
Yeah.
Some lady's laying in bed. Some dude comes back mid thrust. He's just like, what? Someone's got to poop. Someone's house probably got demolished.
Oh,
they come back. They paved over it, put up some office space. Some dude blips back, pooping.
I got
naked.
Two more Easter eggs. Mount
I'm gonna spitball here.
Mount Wundagore, the place where Wong and Wanda travel to, and Wanda ultimately dies, is actually her and Quicksilver's birthplace in the comics.
Oh, too bad they killed him.
Yeah.
Mount Wundagore, the place where Wong and Wanda travel. That is a fucking sentence.
And then finally, we got two characters that were teased. Nightmare and Mephisto are teased. Nightmare rules the dream dimension, mentioned previously in Loki, and is one of Doctor Strange's strongest enemies. He was even theorized as the main antagonist for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness previously. Mephisto is an interdimensional demon and a prominent adversary to Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, and the Avengers. As we saw Wanda traveling through interdimensionals, and she was kind of evil, so I think that's kind of like a nod to Mephisto. Fans have been waiting feverishly for both villains to appear in the MCU, especially Mephisto, who has popped up in theories and conversations about nearly every Phase 4 project.
They're just not going to give it.
Nope. What is next? I mean, we're going to get Doctor Strange 3, or we're going to get Secret Wars, or Secret Invasion. So I think that's what's next. I mean, the end we got.
Sarah?
I don't remember. But
and she was like, you caused an incursion in my world. Let's go fix it.
Yeah. So that's going to pick up. I'm excited to see what's next for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I think with this setup, it has got me more excited for the MCU than I have been in a very long time, which is fun because I contrary to popular belief, Miles, you gonna pick a fucking direction? Contrary to popular belief, I don't like hating comic book movies. I know that's all basically I do these days. But it has me excited for what's next. Obviously, like I'm not excited for Thor, right? Because it's just kind of it's not like
or Guardians
super
3.
yeah. They feel like that they're their own little off section of what's happening. I feel like the grander stuff is moving forward, and then Thor and Guardians are just kind of there. But like, I want to see a Fantastic Four. I want to see an X-Men. I want to see what's coming next. But like, you got to imagine they got to announce that stuff soon.
Well, Fantastic Four has been announced.
Yeah.
I think it's 2024 is when that's
Yeah.
coming out. But we
Like,
don't.
what's coming next
We don't know
besides
anything
like-
that. We're gonna
like
get an X-Men
Ant-Man?
movie eventually. Yeah.
I heard a rumor that it's not the best way to introduce the Fantastic Four, but if it's what you got to do, you got to do.
Okay.
That they have been stuck in the quantum realm since the 60s. And they come out in Quantum Mania, and they're all like in retro shit and stuff.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah. So it's like, fine,
Yeah.
you do that. Although you can't do David Harbour as the Thing, because he was what's his tits.
Oh,
in
that's right.
Black
yeah,
Widow.
he was in Black Widow. Damn, we can't do that. He would have been perfect for that.
What a waste.
Damn. He was the Red Scare.
Yeah. That's a great name.
It is a great name. All right, hold on. Let's see what's on the horizon, and then we'll end. Marvel upcoming MCU.
Yeah, Dev. So they're all basically there's 4 Captain Americas come out of the quantum realm.
Okay, Phase 4. Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th. Wakanda Forever this year. I didn't know it was that close. November 11th. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, February 17th. Guardians 3, May 5th. The Marvels next July 28th, 2023. Fantastic Four, no release date yet. Blade. And it does say X-Men, but I don't think they ever announced it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just kind of an assumption.
Captain America 4 with Sam Wilson. Deadpool 3. Shang-Chi 2. Spider-Man 4. That's what we got on the horizon. So.
Fantastic Four. That's what I'm looking forward to.
You didn't like Shang-Chi? You fell asleep, you said?
I fell asleep.
I thought Shang-Chi was great. You'll watch Blade when Blade comes out.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for Blade. I love the Wesley Snipes one. So I'm just holding out hope.
Well,
that
1 and 2 are
that's good. Yeah.
Not
actually, Blade Trinity is not good, but it's a fun watch.
It's like mediocre.
Yeah, it's not like fucking atrocious. It's
not atrocious, but
it's more Blade,
great.
but it just has like weird additional shit in it.
And Dracula's the villain.
It has Triple H in it, so that's a plus.
I forgot Triple H was in that movie.
You killed my fucking dog. I think he threatens to face fuck Ryan Reynolds. So
sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. With that is it for our super late spoiler casts.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining. And we'll be back next week. Are we doing our GM mode tomorrow night?
If you're up for it, I'm up for it.
Let's do it. I'm in the lead, I think.
Fuck yeah, you're right. Never mind. I don't want to do it.
All right. With that, I'm going to play this song to play us out. See you guys later.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching. See you.